afternoon, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and all of Central Alabama. This is the CBS 42 News at Noon.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to the CBS 42 News at Noon. I'm Jamie Ostroff in for Jamie Langley, and right now search crews are continuing to look for the last person missing from an SUV that crashed into the Coosa River. You see it there, crews are looking for Bobby Shore. He was in the car with 6 other people when it rolled into the river in Leesburg and sank. Only 2 people survived that crash. Now, search teams have been on the water since 8 this morning, and new at noon, we are hearing from the coroner about the latest on the search and what's next.
There were several interviews yesterday the family did with media outlets, and so the information that they gave to them indicated that something happened right before the car went into the water, and so we're certainly looking into that. They were re-interviewed yesterday by the Leesburg Police Department and the state troopers that are assisting in this investigation, as well as the coroner's office.
Crews say they are not giving up until they find Shore. Stay with CBS 42 for the latest on this search on air and online and through our mobile app. Breaking right now, a Chattanooga, Tennessee judge finds enough probable cause to send a 24-year-old bus driver before a grand jury. Jonathan Walker is facing 5 counts of vehicular homicide in the crash that killed 6 children. We've also learned that Walker was speeding at the time of the crash, and he was using a cell phone before that crash happened. 2 children are still in the hospital. Also new at noon, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office has identified the woman killed in a North Shelby County neighborhood. They say 37-year-old Constance Lee Woolweaver was found dead at a home on Sheffield Way in the Highland Lake subdivision. Investigators are calling this a homicide and not a random act. Stay with CBS 42 for the latest on this case. New at noon, Jefferson County deputies are investigating a shooting in Mccullough. Deputies were called to a house on Mountain Forest Drive around 7 o'clock this morning. That's where a 61-year-old man had been shot. He was rushed to the hospital, but his injuries are said to not be life-threatening. The man said he was driving when someone shot into his car. So if you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers. We also have some new information on a crash in Homewood that shut down a portion of Valley Avenue yesterday afternoon. Police are now investigating that crash as a hit and run. The driver hit a fire hydrant after he said a car swerved into his lane and sideswiped him. It took crews more than 3 hours to finally shut that water off to the hydrant. The CBS 42 weather team now tracking some very cold weather moving into our area. We are already feeling it. Now, Storm Track meteorologist Michael Smith is here with us for a first check on that forecast. Michael?
Jamie, yep, you're right. We feel it outside right now. We felt it early this morning. Temperatures got down into the low 30s and upper 20s. Right now, mainly sunny, a few high clouds around as we check out the Magic City. Up to 40. Temperatures aren't going to climb all that much this afternoon with the sunshine. And here's why. We've got a secondary shot of this cold Arctic air just to our north, and it will continue to filter down to the south right here at home. So 38 to 40 right now in the metro, but to the north it is 5 above in Chicago, 3 below in Minneapolis, and that's the air mass that will continue to migrate down into the south. Elsewhere on the thermometer, good afternoon to you, Coleman, 33. Our average high for this time of year is 56, so cold, absolutely. Developing storm system back off to the west means a weather mix-up as we get into the weekend, but we're going to talk about today. You're going to need to keep it layered all afternoon. High temperatures at best, right around 42 tonight. We slide right back down into the 20s. I'll have much more, including a look at my Storm Track 7-day forecast. It's kind of all over the place in just a few minutes. Jamie?
Thanks a lot, Michael. Now, right now, Birmingham is doing its part to make sure people are staying warm in these temperatures tonight. A warming station is going to reopen this evening at 5 o'clock at the Boutwell Auditorium. The city is asking that people donate things like scarves to help keep people there warm.
We're in the Christmas season, but cold weather comes, after Christmas. Cold weather sometimes comes before Christmas. So it's always a battle that we're fighting. There's always a need. There's not a time during the year that we don't need these items. So
there are also some other needs there. You can donate toothbrushes, snacks, and bottled water. So if you want to bring something to the Boutwell, you can drop it off right there at the auditorium. Happening today, a Jefferson County mother is accused in the beating death of her toddler, and she is expected in court for a bond hearing. Misty Wright and her boyfriend Jonathan Talley are both facing charges in the death of 3-year-old Jetty Adams. The little girl died last August at Wright's home in Trafford. Also happening today, a family is going to say goodbye to an 18-year-old who was shot and killed. A viewing is going to be held today for Ashlyn Sparks. That's happening at the Mccullough Memorial off of Letson Farms Parkway. The viewing will start at 5 o'clock this evening, and funeral services will start tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sparks died last Wednesday night. According to her family, her boyfriend said they were sitting in a car in Lipscomb when 2 suspects came up to them and tried to rob them. Both of them were shot, and police are still looking for suspects. Developing now, the Helena couple accused of holding a 14-year-old boy in isolation is going to have to wait to find out if a judge will reduce their bond. That's because attorneys for Richard and Cynthia Kelly are asking that they be tried together. The couple is being held on $1 million bond each for aggravated child abuse charges. Now, those charges come after their adopted son was taken to the hospital in critical condition. He weighed only 55 pounds. A preliminary hearing for Richard Kelly is scheduled for January 4th. New at noon, the father of the so-called affluenza teen, Ethan Crouch, is going to spend the next year on probation. A Tarrant County, Texas jury convicted Fred Couch of false identification of a police officer. Now, this comes after a disturbance back in 2014 when Couch told police he was a suburban Fort Worth police officer. Fred Couch will also have to serve 100 hours of community service. Now, if he violates this probation, he will have to spend 4 months in jail. You might remember Couch's son, Ethan, was sentenced to probation for a drunk driving wreck that killed 4 people back in 2013. Right now, suspended Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore is appealing his suspension from the bench. According to Moore's attorney, the judicial panel exceeded its authority when it suspended Moore for the rest of his term. That was back in September. The panel ruled that Moore violated judicial ethics when he ordered Alabama probate judges to refuse marriage to same-sex couples. Happening today, the U.S. Justice Department is expected to announce a review of the St. Anthony, Minnesota Police Department. One of its officers shot and killed a black man during a traffic stop back in July. Prosecutors say Philando Castile was shot 7 times after he told the officer he was armed and had a license to carry a gun. Castile's girlfriend streamed that aftermath. You see it right there, right after that shooting on Facebook. Also happening today, closing arguments are expected to start in the trial of the South Carolina man who's accused of shooting 9 black parishioners to death at a Charleston church. Dylan Roof is facing 33 federal charges, including hate crimes. Roof's attorneys say he is willing to plead guilty so long as prosecutors drop their pursuit of the death penalty. Roof is also facing some state charges, and that trial is expected to start next month. New at noon, with President Obama's time in the White House coming to an end, there are some new numbers out on his approval rating. In a new research poll released yesterday, 45% of those surveys expect Obama to be remembered as an above-average or outstanding president. In the poll, 58% said they approve of how he's handling his job, while 37% disapprove. Also new at noon, a new report shows that ISIS is losing major manpower in Syria and in Iraq. United States leaders say the American-led coalition to fight ISIS has killed 75% of the terror group's fighting ranks. The U.S. estimates that there are now 12,000 to 15,000 ISIS fighters, and that's down from a high of 32,000.
ISIL now has no access to an international border, and this has significantly impacted the overall campaign because they are now a very isolated entity.
Right now, the top priority is to get ISIS out of its self-declared capital in Syria. We do have some construction going right now in Bessemer, and it could slow you down if you drive on Highway 150. Real-time traffic anchor Rachel Lundberg has all the details on that.
Monitoring all afternoon commutes. There's some construction taking place right now in Bessemer. I told you about it this morning. Expect some lane closures until 3 p.m. today in both directions on Highway 150 as you near Bessemer and mile marker 4. Crews are on the scene there, so the reduced speeds are in full effect and lane closures in both directions. It will all wrap up by 3 p.m. today. That's the latest for now with your real-time traffic.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. Happening today, it is an effort to reduce violent crime in Birmingham's housing communities. It's called the Ceasefire Initiative. This initiative provides resources to reduce the risk factors of violence, and it has renewed its efforts this year to curb some of that violence. The ceasefire is going to kick off tonight at the Cooper Green housing community. It starts at 5 o'clock, and the evening is also going to feature a Winter Wonderland holiday festival for the kids. Also happening today, members of the law enforcement community are going to gather to honor an East Alabama police officer. Heflin Assistant Police Chief Jackie Stovall is going to receive the Civil Rights Service Award today. He is the first recipient of this award. Stovall was shot in the leg by a murder suspect. That was back in 2012. This award ceremony today is going to be held inside the Law Library of the Calhoun County Courthouse at 4:30 p.m. Still to come on the news at noon, interest rates are going up and you'll likely notice some changes. After the break, we're going to take a look at how those higher rates could affect your family. You're watching the CBS 42 News at noon.